we are talking about the animal tissue. Multicellular animals, they are made up of the four tissues. Then first one we can say epithelial tissue, second is muscular tissue, third is connective tissue, and fourth is nervous tissue. Again, the epithelial tissue, they have three types: squamous epithelium, columnar epithelium, and the coidal epithelium. Same way, muscular tissue, they again of three types: voluntary tissue, involuntary tissue, and the cardiac tissue. Same way, connective tissue also have three types: connective tissue proper, skeleton tissue, vascular tissue, and the fourth one is the nervous tissue. So now we will talk about the epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue, they are found on the outer surface of the body, like the skin, and also in the internal cavities. Like that we can say mouth cavity, nostrils, stomach, and intestine. Their main function is to protect from the germs and help in absorption and secretion. And I told it's three types. First is squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium, as is shown in the diagram, the cells are thin and flat, means flat are there, and they form the outermost layer of the skin and also lie in the body cavities. It includes like that heart, alveoli, blood and lymph vessels, and the main function to protect against the injury and facilitate the diffusion, means to allow the things to pass in or out. And then second is the columnar epithelium. They are, we can say, longer rectangular shaped cells are there, like columns, they arrange with each other, and sometimes they have protruding structure that is called the microvilli to increase the surface area that help in absorption and facilitate absorption and secretion. And then we can say it's lying in the inner wall of the stomach, intestine, pharynx, and the larynx. Then third one, that is the cuboidal epithelium. The cells are arranged like a cube, and then this is present in the glands, we can say, like the salivary glands, digestive gland, and the sweat glands. And their inner walls of the ducts, we can say, like a tube-like structure like bronchioles. They help in the absorption and secretion. Means we can say, like some cells are lying in the stomach, they help to secrete the gastric juices. So next is the muscular tissue. They are again of three types: voluntary, involuntary, and cardiac muscle. This muscular tissue, they help us in to show the body movements like walking, running, and do other things. So then by contracting and relaxing, they help us in that movements. So first is the voluntary muscles. They also called the skeletal muscles because they attach to the skeleton. And then they are working according to our will. Means they are present in the arms, legs, that organ which can be moved with our wish. So they are having some strips, means dark and light bands are there. So that is why they are called the striated muscles also. Second is the involuntary muscles. They are not working according to our will. So they are called the involuntary muscles. They are present in the stomach and the blood vessels which are not under our control. And then they are, we can say, having the tapering and embroidered in the middle. And then third one, that is called the cardiac muscle. These muscles are also involuntary, means not under our control. They are present in a special organ, heart, and they are working throughout the life. They never tired, as our heart is working day and night. They are also having dark or light bands, but they are branched. Next is connective tissue. Connective tissue, it is also known as the supportive tissue. It has only few cells and lot of intercellular space that is filled with the matrix, or we can say intercellular substances. So depending on the function, the matrix means can be a hard, rigid, or liquid, or like a jelly. And this connective tissue, they having the three functions. We can say, as the name is shown, it connect and bind the various organs and fill the spaces within the internal organs. And it forms the framework and it protect the various parts of the body. So they again divide into three types, we can say. First is connective tissue proper, second is skeleton tissue, and the third one is vascular tissue. So then first, connective tissue proper. Again four types are there: areolar tissue, white fibrous tissue, elastic tissue, and the adipose tissue. So we can say first is the areolar tissue. It Roller tissue, it is the most common type and form a continuous layer under the skin, and it provides the elasticity to the skin. With the help of this we can stretch our skin, and then we can say it pack also space between various organs so that they should remain in their place. Then second one is the white fibrous tissue. As the name is shown, so it is white in color and they are connected with each other by a cementing substances. And then it also has only few cells and little matrix. It connects bone to the bones. Okay, as you can see, tendons are there. And then third one, that is the elastic tissue. It's made up of the jello fibers, which is also called the jello fibrous tissue. It joins one bone to the another bone. So that is why we can say example is a ligaments. So then it also not a much matrix and contain only few cells, but these are thicker as compared to white fibrous tissue. Then last one is the adipose tissue. It is made up of the special cell that is called the adipocytes, and it helps to store fat under the skin, and it is protecting against the injury. So then we can say next is the skeleton tissue. There are two types, cartilage and bones. Cartilage is present between the two bones and protect them from rubbing against each other, and they are present at the tip of the nose and the external ears also. Bones, they form the skeleton of the body. Cartilage, it is made up of the cells that is called the chondrocytes, and then these cells are embedded in a space gel-like substance that is called the matrix. So that is why they absorb the friction between the bones. And then next is the bones. Bones is the hardest connective tissue. It is made up of the cells that is called the osteoblasts, and then it is also containing some inorganic substances like calcium, phosphate and magnesium. So these substances, it make the bones hard. And then fiber, also we can say presence of the fiber in the matrix, they give them strength. Some longer bones are hollow from the mid center we can say, and this cavity is called the marrow, and then it is filled with the marrow is responsible for the formation of the red blood cells. So third is a vascular tissue. It is a fluid connective tissue, means it's a liquid connective tissue, and it is of two types, blood and lymph. So then blood, we can say cell of the tissue, they are suspended in a liquid one that is called the plasma, and the other part we can say 90% is a plasma, then the cells are there. Three types of cells are present in the blood: red blood cells, white blood cells and the platelets. Red blood cells, they are disc shaped, and then white blood cells, they are amoeboid shaped, and the third one is the platelets. These red blood cells, they have to carry the oxygen from the we can say nose or to the lungs to other parts, and white blood cells, they are protecting against the infections also, and platelets, they also help in the clotting of our blood. Then blood protects us against the infections and also regulate the body temperature. Now the next one is the lymph. It is a straw colored watery fluid, means we can say it contain only the we can say it does not contain the RBC. Okay, it's a part of the blood only, which blood is oozed out, we can say squeeze out in the blood capillaries and running in the body, that is called the lymph. And then next one is the nervous tissue. Nervous tissue, it is made up of a special cell that is called the neurons or the nerve cell. These nerve cells, it gets message from all parts of the body to the brain and the spinal cord. Then it is consists of a cell body that is called the cytosol, and then tail-like structure is there that is called the axon, and at the top some we can say fiber-like structures are rising from the cytosol that is called the dendrite, and it contains some we can say liquid substance in the here in the cytosol that is called the neuroplasm, and that is a nucleus. So then these are joining one to another end to end and forming the nerve fiber.